Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And I want to mention this place is put together by a guy named Paul Linhart. And they are going through a really rough time right now. And honestly, the reason that I stayed in Ventura was because Paul Linhart moved here. Because I was ready to leave. And my friends were ready to help me. And this has been a big part of my my artistic life has been this place, and I feel very lucky to be part of it. And I hope things work out for Paul, and if there's a way we can help, we should do that. So so please give it up for Paul, please. Okay. All right, now it's time to read. This is called, my book's called Walking the Dog in a Time of Rage. It's this one. This is my sister's poodle, and this is a coyote vest that has little studs out the back. So it's kind of a B&D poodle type thing going on. Or punk rock, I'm not sure which. But I thought it worked for this time. I'm going to read a poem from the book Rick Sings, and the reason I'm reading it is because this actually says a lot of what my life has been and what I came to, what I had to deal with. It's called Last Night. The fear woke me last night, a shadow raving blackout numb, frozen at the edge and afraid to, but wanting to jump. I have never been comfortable with sanity. My mother, her body vacant electroshock medicated. My brother listens to voices on a mattress in the corner of a carport. The fear is sometimes a comfort, and seemingly, inevitably, it welcomes me home. And I, too, like to read other people's poems to start. I think it's where I usually look for them on TV shows. I figure they would, in a little break, they'd put poetry in there, but they don't seem to do that for some reason. And this is from Amy Uematsu, a good friend from her Basic Vocabulary album. And it's the poem that she really loves, and it's really it's what poets should be doing. It's our responsibility on poets. A poet carries the unseen seed for a long time. A poet is both mother and father, collecting bones, leaves, and names with equal anticipation. A poet is most amazed by the gift of countless moments of amazement. A poet walks a tightrope of syllables. A poet keeps writing no matter how dangerous. An advocate for the ordinary. A poet can be no less than revolutionary. Feared by most tyrants, a poet cannot hide. A poet begins with nothing and ends with everything. Over and over again. A poet inhabits the crowded country of dreams and desire, improvising her small portion of words like a jazz musician. A poet sings because it's the only way she knows how. A poet keeps giving birth to herself. Amy Uematsu. Now, I've written a lot about the homeless, but I was thinking about what can you do about it? It's a hard thing to deal with. And I thought I would go the John and Yoko route, where they declared that war was over. And that was the whole thing. War is over. Well, today the homeless came home, plopped down on a chair, a sofa, kicked back, grabbed a cold drink from the fridge, sparkling apple cider, hot cocoa from the stove, ate a tasty meal, watched the news on TV. A movie, read a book, the comics, listened to music, took a hot shower, a bath, turned down the sheets to a warm, soft, clean bed, slept without nightmares. And this is the title poem of the book, Walking the Dog in a Time of Rage. The minivan screams by, horn blaring, angry, fist out the window. I must have done something wrong. Rage has become our discourse, our answer. Anger, our voice sputtering away in the ether, on the highways, in the ballot box. We're driving through a park, not a very big one. Only one entrance, one parking lot. We're both approaching. I wonder if he's going to the farmer's market too. My friends online nip at each other, clever quips bite. I pass his vehicle, drive to the other side of the parking lot, as far away as possible. This anger swirls inside. We don't know what to do. A white man in his 40s gets out of the van, sets his dachshund down, pulls a baseball bat from the back seat, looks at me. Marcia and I look for Brussels sprouts instead. But part of me wants to stay. I'm angry too. Walk over to him. Isn't that how it's supposed to be? Celebrate this rage. Consecrate it with our blood on the ground, flowing. We find yellow squash instead. On the other side of the park, there's the man, his dachshund, his baseball bat. Thank you. I wrote a bunch of poems with Mothra in. I'm just going to tell you now. I wanted a way to deal with ecology, and I thought, Mothra, as you all know, was a protest film because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the bikini explosions, and so this is how they dealt with it. And I thought, Mothra, I can go there. And the luminous twins are the little fairies that ride on his back. They became pop stars in Japan. They were very, very famous. They did records. And so this is Mothra the Twins and the movies. The luminous twins loved the movies, flickering lights and shadow, and they were loved. Fantasy violence disturbed Mothra. But the twins are stars. The press follow them. Record contracts. While on the Godzilla set, Mothra reads Silent Spring. Rachel Carson's book is alarmist, the director says. We have time to fix this. We don't, Mothra replies. They're flying over right now. We don't, Mothra replies. We have nothing. Still water, pesticide, better lives through chemistry, then we fade away. That was a haibun. And a haibun is you tell a little story, little prose, and you put a little haiku at the end. And all the Mothras are haibun. Okay, this is Dreamtime in the 101. For me, freeways are rivers. This is what my childhood was like. We drive on freeways. And this one, there was a dream involved in it. It was a dream of Rick. And it was just before he passed. And so this is him in the dream and kind of saying goodbye to Rick. And it has an epigraph. And if you're old enough, you'll know what this is. Let's take a trip down Whittier Boulevard. The Midnighters. Just past the 405, going south, a Neo-Dharma bum-stickered hybrid SUV passes us. Last night, I dreamt of Rick in the upstairs room on the left. Passing Vivid, the Ford Theater, I saw the Pogues there, graffiti crosses, knocked down road signs. In this dream, Rick is leaving. I gather up what is needed. Our paths are so close. Brothers. We cross into Hollywood, the Knickerbocker, the Beatles' capital, more crosses, the Shangri Lodge, Destiny Inn, the crush of downtown. We are on parallel paths, like moving sidewalks, drawn close. We touch, then drift apart. Gronk and Spring Street, J-Town, Aztlan, Brew 102, and beautiful, beautiful bridges. Rick, Rampart, and Tommy's. I wave. The car hurtles down past the 605, South Whittier, and on. Rick is absorbed and distant. He waves back. Goodbye. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. This is a homeless poem. This actually happened by Avenue Liquor. I saw this person just across the street from Avenue Liquor. And my daughter lives close by, and we walk down the avenue and have breakfast about once a month. And this is called, well, you'll hear. She is sitting on the sidewalk, collapsed into stucco wall of a bike shop. She says hi when we pass. Sweet voice, red hair. A woman passed her before us, eyes concerned, looks back. A girl tilts her head up. Smiles, scabs, freckles cover her face. She's new. The homeless tan hasn't darkened, toughened her skin. Red shirt bicycle patrol calling for help, calling the police. The girl lifts up off the sidewalk, straightens, gathers her stuff, walks on. She's maybe 16. Another Southern California favorite. You guys all know who Cal Worthington is, right? Right, of course. Okay, this is Go See Cal. Old jalopies on the blink. Go see Cal. It's later than you think. Go see Cal. From the Cal Worthington TV commercial a while back. He calls back to us through the ether, across the somatic divide. You too can have this American dream. Buy this asphalt, drive this car. I will stand upon my head to sell a car. I will stand upon my head till my ears are turning red. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal. Cal drifts west across the desert, from the heartland to the promised one. Heat shimmering visions of Aztlan, Angeline, Surf City, giant blue pyramids, and single family tract homes. He touched us in this holy land, sealed in concrete with bikinis, and once upon a time tattooed across dreamy blue raster abundance, complete with palm trees, shimmering, swaying with his dog Spot. Okay, here is, this is Sometimes I'm Lucky. This is my spam poem. And it has an epigraph from Deepocalypse. I got lost. He didn't get lucky. He got lost looking for an answer. Deepocalypse. He's played here a couple times. An email tells me the FBI discovered through the intelligent monitoring network I am eligible for, have a lawful right to, a gold smart card, number 5120-8156-1062. The sky is blue, a beautiful blue. Helicopters are out and the drones chatter away. There is the mandatory one-time fee I have to pay before I can receive the card. Then 2 to 3 working days later, my card will arrive. Of course, I have to pay for shipping, but I can use this card all over the planet. Today, the drones talk to me. Usually they just buzz around, sparkle in the sun, glow in the moonlight. Finally, I am to contact the Seattle office of the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, Courier and Director, Distribution Officer, Mr. Richard Thompson at yahoo.com. All the voices connect me, sparking off in my head. Warm, comfort, reason. It all makes sense now. Okay, I'm not going to go long on my reading him. I promise. This is it's kind of a poem about aging, but also it's a poem about our culture actually right now and algorithms. If you don't know about an algorithm, you should sit in my high school TV class. We'll talk about them. I want to be sedated. This was a B-side the boys recorded in '78. It's on my car radio, K-Earth Oldies 101, as I drive into work, turned up to drown out. The LA Times, an extra edition, 2 days in a row, mass killings. Although the tune became a staple for the Ramones, arguably their most popular, didn't make the charts back then. A man with a gun walks into a room, shooting. Active shooters on the freeways, at concerts, in schools. The song was about touring too much, overwhelmed, overworked, and only touring. Rage and fear turned off social discourse. No discussion, no compromise. This is a riot in slow motion. The radio algorithms that continually plop, I want to be sedated in my car, makes sense, especially now. 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated. I want to be sedated. Thank you very much. And what a delight to read with Sean and Jonathan. Thank you guys for being here. And that's it.